Hello everyone, do you wanna set your enemies ablaze with explosive bullets? Do you want an alternate fire that can one-shot acolytes? Well, the Trumna is the weapon for you. This is an amazing Entrati assault rifle, and I'm a lovely host, the Gaming Weasel, and let's cover it in today's video. Now, this weapon can be gained from Father in the Necrolist. They're a pretty good weapon to get, and pretty beginner-friendly weapon, I guess, if you can't master rank 13 as a beginner weapon. Now, it does primarily impact and also fire damage. That is a 24% critical chance, 2.2 critical multiplier. It also has 30% status chance, and the ult fire, which we'll talk about in a second. Now, the primary fire, basically, as I said, deals the fire and the impact, but also does an explosion. So if you hit, I guess, an object, a wall, or doesn't really matter, you're gonna do a small little 1.6 meter radius with explosions, and then if you hit enemy, same thing happens as well. You will charge up your alternate fire. You're gonna see a little bar beneath the actual cursor with the alternate fire. The alternate fire fires a grenade that bounces 7 times and has a 6 meter explosion radius, dealing heat damage. The stats, we have 38% critical chance and 2.4 critical multiplier with 50% status chance. It is considered an AoE weapon, which will be very important later down the line. Now, I have 2 Warframes that I use this weapon with, 2 primary Warframes that I use this weapon with. Of course, it can be used with basically any other Warframe, it does not really matter, but if you're gonna play Steel Path, these are the Warframes that I love using. Couple of things that I want you to keep in mind. The first, of course, Warframe, I do need to mention it, is going to be Ninja, an amazing Warframe with a roar subsumed onto him with a 112 boost into damage. Also, on the weapon, or I guess the Warframe itself, I do have Arcane Rage, which increases my weapon's damage by 180%, which is of course amazing, because more damage equals bigger numbers, and we all love that. Now, if you don't have that arcane, pretty much use any arcane on your Ninja that you want. The Ninja build is on the screen right now. Pretty plain simple, nothing really special, as I said, just for subsumed onto there. Now, also, I do have a Panzer profiler with the Viral Quills mod applying viral for me, and now the weapon itself. Now, the weapon itself is basically built for just decimating everything. This weapon, anything it comes across will be basically obliterated. And we're focusing on, of course, critical, so critical delay, vital sense. Also, we have prime cryo rounds, malignant force. Now, instead of prime cryo rounds, of course, you can put ordinary cryo rounds if you don't have it. And if, for example, you can put what's it called, the electrical mod, the 6060, I forgot what it's called, honestly. We have vigilante armaments, we have hunter munitions, galvanized chamber, and also vile acceleration for that extra 90% fire rate increase and minus 15% damage, but honestly it's not that noticeable. We have primary merciless. Primary deadhead used to be really good. I'm not sure if it's still that good. You can test it out for yourself. I honestly didn't. I prefer merciless, and stabilizer to reduce that incredible recoil. Now, I don't have a Bane mod. Of course, putting on a Bane mod, it's going to be really cool. So instead of, for example, vigilante armaments, a Bane mod could be pretty good, so keep that in mind. Of course, Warframe, you can make your builds however you want them. This is just the build that I use, and I find it quite effective, and as you can see by the gameplay itself. Basically, this weapon is going to apply a lot of damage because you have heat, you have viral, either through your weapon and through your Panzer profile, and impact, which is really cool. Now, hunter munitions, of course, is going to proc the slash procs, even though you don't have slash on this weapon, so you're pretty much set to kill every single enemy. Now, the second Warframe in question is an interesting one that I really do enjoy playing. I mixed that up, but you understand what I'm trying to say. It is Zephyr Prime, yes. Zephyr Prime is an amazing Warframe for a couple of different reasons. Paired with this weapon, her tornadoes do, and I do mean do, incredible amounts of damage. Now, the build for Zephyr is on the screen right now. A pretty plain and simple build, nothing too special. Jet streams on there as well. I haven't subsumed anything. Basically, primary utilizing her tornadoes to deal damage. Your tornadoes absorb the element that you're dealing, and of course, I mean, you can see it by the screen right there, you're decimating everything. Use your second ability to drag enemies inside of the tornadoes, fire inside of your tornadoes, and there's a special little trick with this weapon. Now, it does have an ult fire that you charge by killing enemies. Now, One more thing that I want you guys to keep in mind, once you kill a certain group of enemies, you're gonna charge up your ult fire with, of course, Zephyr. Once you drag enough enemies in, killing them with the ult fire whilst they're in the tornado is basically gonna charge it up again, and you can use your ult fire again. And that's why I love using this weapon, because it basically becomes an incredible grenade launcher with this Warframe. Of course, levitating inside of the air activates her passive, which gives you a 150% critical chance boost, which is also quite amazing. You can't, hold back on critical chance. So with this Warframe, it is simply incredible as well. You're basically just going to be using the ult fire over and over and over again. A little bit of a tip with Zephyr. If you do get an acolyte like I did, and you're going to see me probably die in the gameplay. If you do get an acolyte, I forgot which one it is. The ones that basically every time you shoot a bullet, you shoot yourself. Bring yourself a weapon with, for example, like the Zephyr Prime and or Exotic Contagion melee weapon, because if you don't, you're pretty much going to die, and then you can say goodbye to the steel essence that you were trying to gain. But other than that, this weapon can pretty much, I think it can one-shot the acolyte. You probably saw me with Nezha just literally one-shotting the acolyte. With, what's her name? With Zephyr, I do have, of course, Arcane Rage, and I do have Molt Augmented, just to, I guess, do even more damage. And basically that is it. Nonetheless, this weapon works incredibly good in any Warframe's hands. It's gonna kill anything. It's gonna basically just obliterate them right in front of you. Of course, the Trumna, amazing weapon. Really good. Do recommend this weapon. If you guys did enjoy, do leave a like, a comment, and do subscribe for more. And I will see you guys on the next one. The Gaming Weasel over and out.